Welcome back to Secrets of the Opposite Sex. I'm your host, Tasha Ray.
And I'm your co-host, Drew Comments, back in the world once again.
And we're back with two new faces to the show. Welcome to the show for the first time, ladies.
Hi, thanks so much.
Hello.
Y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves. Starting with you, Darby.
Hi, I'm Darby Smith. I'm located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm 29 years old. And I don't know, interesting fact, I'm a triplet.
Oh,
Ooh.
Happy
didn't know that. All
Ooh.
right.
to
Can't,
be here. Thanks for having me.
Of
can't
course.
beat
Any
that.
Miss LaLa.
Hi, I'm Lala. I am out of the dirty, dirty South in Atlanta, and I'm 36 years old. Interesting fact, I was classically trained as a ballerina.
Oh, wow.
Period.
Look at y'all with the fun facts. I like that. I love that. All
I
right.
can swim underwater.
Oh, boy.
Uh,
So fun. Such a fun fact, Drew. So fun. All righty, like we do it every week, we pull questions from the Secrets of the Opposite Sex Dating and Relationship Party Game, which you can play from home by downloading on the Apple App Store. So tonight's episode is dealing with modern day burnout. I think most of us can relate to that. So the first question I have for the people is going to be: have you ever had a moment where you realized you were emotionally exhausted from dating? Has dating worn y'all out?
Tell me,
Oh,
look. If it hasn't, please we need to discuss an arrangement, okay? Cause I'm blow out, all right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I think I was probably the most exhausted when during my stint as a polyamorous individual.
Oh, tell us more.
Um, It was about I was good at setting boundaries within my partnerships. However, I
Okay.
wasn't as good at setting boundaries with myself. So I
Mm,
had too many partners, too much emotional stability, instability due to being so many other people's emotional support.
Oh,
mm.
Yeah,
wow.
it was completely draining.
That's the interesting aspect of it. I never thought about. So what was the dynamic of that? Like you said, did the number fluctuate or how many partners would you say you had on average?
4 and 5 it was the tipping point.
Oh, wow.
Four,
Okay.
yeah. Once I got
Yeah.
to 4 and 5, it was the tipping point. I felt like I was in a pretty comfortable swing at 2 and 3. Um, but yeah, it was too much, way too much.
that seemed crowded. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, what if all y'all want to go to eat at the same time? Who call y'all taking? Or is it like multiple? Y'all lapping up.
No, no.
Laughing up. What?
I say, hey, look,
Really?
get that. Move that coat
That
out the way.
is so interesting.
We were so my partners, even though we were together but separate, sort of deal.
Yes.
Sort of kind of like how they separate church and state, supposedly. So they all were very well aware of each other and some of the dynamics, but we were not intermingling in that space.
Mm.
So you said it was the emotional weight of, was this of just happenings like within their own personal lives and you being the emotional support? Like what was
Mhm.
what was the
The
tactic to be
dynamic.
able to juggle all this? Because I feel like that says a lot to, being drained. How were you going about it? Like,
So there was no actual strategy. I just knew that I really enjoyed their company, that we had a really good time, we had a really good connection, and that I knew that I wanted to spend more time with them, and that kind of let me know that I wanted to keep them in my space. But just going through the normal flow of a relationship, there's ups and downs that we have together and separate, and so having so many of those, it just became like just too much, carrying too many people's not problems, yeah, carrying too many
mhm.
people's problems.
No, that's real talk. And I know you, cause like you were really like good at just like being someone that people want to talk to and open up to. Like I done
Mhm.
been into you by my own frustration. Remember that time we was and I let you know, I was like, man, these people got me messed up. You know what I'm saying? So for you to do that for so many different, like that, I could see how that could be draining. So
Yeah.
shout out to you. Like, I technically was in a polyamorous relationship. It was one woman, but she was like dating 5, 6 people. Like, she was crazy.
Oh.
Like, she was all over the place, man. I was like, look, girl, like I can't take this no more. Please, what now? What?
True.
No names, but I'm just saying, man. And she would switch her wig up to be different people and stuff like that.
Y'all were dating like 10, 12 people.
But they all came with the same stresses. So like, no, so I feel all the wigs,
Oh
you
my
know?
God.
That's a lot.
Okay. That is so much.
That's a lot to keep up with.
Oh man,
Nah.
I think what has been the most draining at this point is really, I think during the pandemic we all kind of had the opportunity to introspect and start doing some inner work. And on top of that, like I was thinking about the question earlier today, just about between doing the introspecting on your own and then changing the dating game from having the dating pool you have locally to now you can date anybody anywhere in the world. There's so many options. Okay, like that's overwhelming in itself. So then you take that and you look at it and I've got all these options, so I really don't have to put up with this over here when I've got this over here that's not giving me that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like between the options and the work, and then after I'm done introspecting, I've now raised the bar.
Mhm.
That.
So we got about 5 factors in motion right now. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. And so what I've been finding lately is now that we've got all these options, now that we've done the work, now that we're back in person and online,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
now come to a point of like, I mean, I don't know if you guys are Threads people, but some of the stuff that they be talking about on Threads is like out of this world. And it's easy to feel like, because, that's, of course, you want the clickbait, you want the rage bait, but some
Mhm.
of the things that we are seeing, we feel like there's just a shortage of like, where are the people that are on my level? Like,
Okay.
where are they at? Because all I
Let's
see
talk
is
about it.
nonsense.
Foolishness.
And I
Really?
know
Yeah.
I am certain that just can't be the whole lot of the dating pool. It can't be. But
Wow.
it is exhausting.
Indeed.
That is an interesting perspective because my Threads feed ain't nothing but fine women, but like every time I open that app, it is some
Oh,
fine on the yeah. I'm like, goodness gracious, God is
here you go,
good.
Drew.
Don't get me
Rubbing it
wrong,
in
it's some
again.
fun shit on
I'm
there.
just saying, like, look, if you want to see something now, you want to talk about crazy Twitter or X
So,
like that.
no, see, Twitter was too
I
much
don't
Mm.
know
for
what
my
X is.
threshold.
I
Yeah,
don't know
then
what X is.
that let me tell you
Mm.
something. The Nazis are out, yo. They out there, bro. They really on that thing.
Yikes.
But sure, but y'all got it. Yeah, I feel you.
Mm. But Darby, I feel what you're saying. It's almost like I did a lot of work, like you said, during the
Did a
pandemic.
lot of work.
I was very strategic. I learned how to be a better communicator. I worked
Hmm.
on my emotional intelligence. I worked
Mhm.
on setting boundaries, what that looks like, not just for relationships, but with family, with friends. Like I was
Yeah.
Mhm.
doing the work. And now that I've done the work and I'm out here like, all right, let's go ahead and jump into
Right.
the
Let's see
weeds
what's
now.
out there.
I'm like,
What is this?
What
If
is
two
this?
plus
emotional,
two is
Okay.
four.
emotional intelligence. Who recruited these people? Like,
People.
Okay.
Who are these people? If 2 plus 2 is 4 and 5 plus 5 is 10, what
they
the hell
doing
is
boy
this?
math out here.
What
I
is
don't
that?
know. Girl math, you at least
What
get
the
close.
hell is this? And I'll
What
say
is
this too. It really, I think it's really important fact to add that I think it's the doing so after we become these better people, we've done the work, we've done the healing, and we come to connect with someone else. It's the stopping points, like they're becoming
Mhm.
repetitive. We're getting so far, like, yeah, we're talking and we're getting to know each other, and it's still stops so far, like, or the ghosting and the, no closure, no, that, like, just tell me you're not rocking with it. Somebody gonna rock with it over here, babe. Just be honest about
Yeah,
it.
say the
It's
word.
okay. I think we have a hard time just being honest about things, like, and I've even challenged myself, like, if I'm not feeling it, hey baby, it was fun, the
Yeah.
vibes were great,
Until they weren't.
until they
Okay.
weren't, and I wish you the best, kiss kiss. But
That
it's all
kind
right.
of
I'm good, and we can keep moving on.
Mhm.
But, like, I would much rather somebody come and be honest with me that way than just, like,
Mhm.
that.
disappear, because I'm
Yeah.
gonna assume that the vibes were just too much. They were too immaculate. You couldn't handle them. What else am I supposed to assume?
Facts. It kind of that kind of brings us to our next question. Have you ever ghosted someone because you just didn't have the energy to explain?
Guilty.
Yep. Yep.
We don't even have
Show
time
did.
for the number of times. Okay, not
Though
enough
I
time.
Casper.
don't think it's right. I have done it plenty of day.
Yep. Casper. Patrick Swayze. Name your favorite ghost. I done been them all. All right.
You've been them all. All
Blackbeard.
right.
I've been. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
By accident
But
though. I never did on purpose. It's an accident. I'm an
Why is it an
accidental.
Why you
accident, Drew?
accidentally
I'm a,
ghosting somebody? How
How?
you
I'm an
accidentally ghost somebody?
I'm an accidental apparition. All right, I'm saying like that's
Already
my,
know.
and I've already
Okay.
trademarked that. You cannot take that. I've already trademarked that term. So
I,
let me.
I
All right, let me
yes,
say. All
please explain.
right, I'll explain. So check it out. Example: talking to this girl. This
Mhm.
was right before the pandemic, and then going into the pandemic, like right before, like 2019. Anyway, she was cool. You know what I'm saying? It's out in LA and all that. We go out on the first date. Whatever, it's cool. Like she was cool. I wasn't all the way into it. No, like, but she was all right. But I wasn't feeling like that, like so much that I felt compelled to be with all the time. So I was just chilling. And then when COVID hit, what happened? She hit me up, asked me if I was doing all right. We were constantly communicating up to that point. She hit me, she's like, hey, just want to check on you, make sure you all right, not sick, nothing like that. And I was playing PlayStation at the time. And I remember seeing that text come in. I'm like, all right, after this game, I'm gonna text her back. And then I forgot to do it, and it was the next day. I said, okay, bet I'll text her back this morning. And then that next morning turned into like a week later. I was like, all right.
Okay.
And so at that point, it was too disrespectful to even text back. So I'm letting that ride.
Don't text me nothing.
Yeah, like I just let that
Hey,
ride.
That's
at the
crazy.
camera.
But if you're watching and you know who you watch, once you know I'm okay, and I did see you, and it wasn't nothing
I'm not.
personal.
I'm
No,
okay.
I'm
I
okay.
didn't. I
Of all
didn't
the
want to
things.
disrespect
If
you.
you're
That's all.
watching this. Okay,
Wow,
so
Drew. Wow.
Woo.
I must confess, I know exactly what he's talking about, and I used to be. I was so bad at texting people back. Like,
Mm.
even if I liked you, you were doing good if I text you back in an hour or 2 hours. Like,
Oh wow.
you were, and later, the more I kind of fell into that pattern, then it got to the point where you were just lucky if I text you back the same day.
Oh.
like, like
Now wait a
baby,
minute.
baby is busy. Baby
Wait
is
a minute.
busy, and but also it kind of goes back to like the lack of initiative that guys weren't really taking to like
Hmm.
Mm.
request my time. Like if all I'm doing is using my Twitter fingers to message you and we're barely even talking on the phone, honey,
Yeah.
sorry, not sorry.
Because what are we
Like,
doing at that point?
yeah, like I,
Are
I
we pen
feel bad.
pals?
Yeah, I don't feel bad at all for any of those circumstances. I'll be completely honest. Um, but like there's some people like I intentionally ghosted because even though I communicated
Hmm.
where I was at, they were determined um, to make it something. And
Uh,
so once I've set the boundary, or I've also learned to establish with myself when to walk away, even when they don't know.
mhm.
So you'll be talking to yourself, and I don't block anyone, so I just watch all of your messages come in, and then I just leave them there.
So you reading it like it's a story. Once
Most
upon
times
a
I
time.
don't even read them. If I just see what comes in or what's on my notification screen, and
Yeah.
then like swoop, swipe clear, and then when I don't like how the number is bubbling up on my message app, then I I'll just mark as read. But like, no, like, what do you? You've been having a conversation with yourself. There's nothing. I don't need to.
Ooh, LaLa, you are cold blooded.
Okay,
I
but
ain't got time for the game.
She is
do
diabolical.
do the ones you're not really, if you've never showed interest, does that count? Like I've never showed you reciprocal interest and we're ghosting.
Mm,
I don't
that
think.
needs a ghost.
Okay, great. Well, then
Was
I can't necessarily say I just upped and ghosted somebody. No, I feel like I've
Mm.
given.
Like someone that you were actually dating, not someone that was just like trying to get at you and
Yeah,
you
no.
know.
Mm-mm.
So you never ghost. Oh,
I don't think so.
if you
I
responded,
feel like if I ever ghosted, it was like a justified ghosting.
Hmm,
and what justifies ghosting?
I was
I
just gonna.
mean, like behavioral things, or like a
Oh,
liar, or like, you know,
the build up, and it's just like
well, yeah, it will have built up for me to be like,
I'm out. Yeah, okay, I got you. I
it
got you.
would. I don't think I've ever just. Nah, I'm not above it now.
Ah,
I'm not above that.
I heard that. Wait,
Yeah.
what? Drew, what in the world?
What?
because I feel you. That's why I'm laughing because it makes sense in my head. So that's
I'm
why
I
I'm
was
not
gonna
laughing.
say
above letting
not
it go,
not the
baby.
accidental ghoster having a problem.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no, no. Like I said, Casper, Swayze,
Nuh-uh.
Tupac, Biggie. I'm all a ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like this, you know, that was crazy though, man.
A little bit.
My fault.
Oh my god.
R.I.P. Go ahead, y'all got it.
Oh god. All right. So the next question is, do you think dating apps have made people more disposable or more accessible?
Both.
Yeah.
Absolutely both.
Disposable.
Oh boy, you about to wear this echo effect
It's
out.
gonna be a thing. It's a thing.
Hey, I want y'all because I want to emphasize that. That's the problem, and I'll say this as a man, especially someone who's like, I know women are visual. I know, but men are visual too. When I've worked on my algorithm for years, right? So when I go on Instagram,
So real.
my explore page is immaculate of just fine, and then same thing with my threads feed. So in your head, like it's almost like your brain and your eyes are telling you that this is what you have access to. These are your options. And also part of that is like me kind of using that, even when I was kind of dealing with heartbreak or maybe a little bit of disappointment, and maybe a relationship or a situationship didn't work out. I look at threads, I can look at Instagram, I can look and I'm like, there's so much more out here. I
So
have
much more.
nothing to worry about. But that doesn't necessarily mean that in a way, that's a good thing, because when you have been, let's say something doesn't go the right way, or even if you get face rejection, y'all don't know nothing about that, but I do.
Oh,
But
all
like,
right.
all y'all fine, y'all don't get rejected.
What
But
does
look,
that have to do with being rejected?
y'all don't
Right.
get
Not a
rejected.
thing.
But look, but me, like when as a man, like I rejected, I can use that as a cudgel and say, you know what? There's so many other fish in the sea. There's trout, flounder, there's sea bass, like all that right there. And it's right there, and so I can just walk away from situations. So now it's that's in a good way. However, there may be some times where maybe I come across a woman who is spectacular in so many different rights, but for me, I'm so maybe desensitized and maybe watered down to recognizing those qualities that I don't show her the right amount of oomph. You dig what I'm saying? And then at that point, you look at her as I'm not, disposable is a strong word, but in the way that is that, and you don't give her the proper energy that she deserves, because it's like, it's all right, I walk down and get another one. And so I think
Wow,
to that.
that's
Right.
great perspective, Drew. I feel like that may often happen to me.
Mm.
Wow, I never thought about that actually.
Options, and social media is like the Toys R Us of fine
Oh
women, especially
gosh.
fine black women. Like, well, I just aged myself. Toys R Us ain't even around no more. It is like the Best Buy. Dang, I aged myself again. It is like the Target. No, we don't shop there no more. It is like the
Drew,
Costco.
please.
Oh my god.
It is the Sam's Club
It's the Sam's
Sam's
Club.
Club.
of options.
It's the club.
It is. Oh, you get them. They're not just fine. They fine in bulk. But you get what I'm saying. But yeah,
My
it can
God.
happen. It happens.
No, that's great
Mm,
perspective. I really never thought about that, but that actually it makes a lot of sense when I think about all of the audacity that comes through my DMs. The
mhm.
audacity, truly. So I definitely feel like that aligns with my experience wholeheartedly because there's no way you thought.
Period.
There's no way you thought that. And as a matter of fact, I have a little story I would like to share.
Come on, story time.
So recently, God, I hope he's not watching this. I
Let
won't
him.
say your name, but this is
Just
What's
my
up,
go.
truth. This
Marcus?
is my
I'm playing. That's not his name. That's not his name. I made that name up. Go ahead. I made that name.
this is my story. This is my truth, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so let's go back to like this had to be Christmas Eve, and that should have been red flag number one.
Mm,
Christmas Eve, this guy that I had been, we'd been exchanging, like flirtatious, like Instagram story type things, emojis and all that stuff. So, we had some like playful banter and flirting for a few months, and then now here we are, Christmas Eve. So we really start getting into, trying to get to know, et cetera, et cetera. So as I'm doing my research, as I do, I scroll. I got to be scrolling, y'all, for days. I
oh.
finally get to the bottom, and what do I find? Wedding photos.
Ooh, oh no. Mm,
Wedding videos,
mm,
a recap video, pictures. I
mm.
mean, this is the most French kissing his ass
Ooh.
French kiss on the wedding day. I mean, in it. So I'm like, wow, this is insane. And I had a feeling, my intuition, I've been really deep diving and leaning into my intuition. My intuition was correct as soon as he messaged me on Christmas Day. So just a couple of days ago, um, he responded to one of my stories and he went back. And remember, I'm good for like ghosting you after I've seen some behavioral faux pas.
Mhm.
So he goes back and screenshots all of the times he's sent me an emoji or a story message response, and they're just not responded to at all. I let you go. So he was like, wow, he took a screenshot and he sends it to me. He says, wow, I'm thirsty. How embarrassing. And I said, you're also in between two sparkles, married.
He's married. Holy matrimony.
Not in between two sparkles.
Right.
That's
Because like let's talk about it. And that's exactly what I asked. I said, let's talk about it. So he says, well, ask me any question. You can give me a call on here. I'm on my way to the gym. It's
I'm
nine
not calling
o'clock
you.
at night.
I'm not
Okay.
calling you.
So not only do I know you're married, I'm because if you lie, then we're really done. So he says, ask me any question on the way to the gym. I said, I posed my curiosity. You can either text it or you can send a voice memo because I will not be calling you.
Mm,
So I say, one, are you married? Are you currently legally married? Two, are you theoretically married? Because it's layers. Okay. Three, is this an arrangement with a woman? Do you have an arrangement? If not, what is the situation? I said, forthcoming integrity will take you a long way. And
oof.
he responds that he is in a marriage that is currently not in the best state. They are parents, they have children. They
Mm.
have children and they are not sexually active.
Mm.
I mean, audacity for free.
Every
But
married man says the same thing.
Every married
I'm
man says the
married,
same thing.
but we
And
on
then
the
says,
outs.
if things were different, I just really love the way you just shine.
Mhm.
Like, absolutely no.
why
Mm.
she not sleeping with you? That's the question.
Why she not sleeping with you?
Because she stopped sleeping with you,
She knows some.
Why
I'm
is she
sorry.
not sleeping
some
with you?
something wrong
She
with
sleep
you.
on everybody else.
You done
Like what?
did
What?
something.
You
Hmm.
know,
Typically a lot of something to get that fed up with
it's
somebody
just so
that you
I
don't want to
This
be
think
not his
doing.
first. This not his
Yeah.
first rodeo. She's sick
Hmm.
of it.
I
Okay.
just can't. My thing is, it's not fair to me, and it's not fair.
Mm-mm.
Why? My question is, what about me, Gabe, help you dishonor your commitment to your wife? It never gave that. Why would you give me an already committed man? So that's I mean, we're all out of strikes now because I mean, you don't even like me at this point.
I
You
don't know if
can't
they
like
consider
me.
it.
You can't like me.
Do you think that he even considered it disrespectful to reach out to you? Because I always wonder that when they, you in something, but then you
I
go and everybody
thought
else.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe that was a consideration. Maybe. But then my thing is it couldn't have been because you selfishly, I mean, he was really working for those months, like trying to get to know me, sparking conversation. Like he was really working at it. So he couldn't. I just,
Yo, nobody gives energy like a married man. Like I told you, that's my
oh,
motto. I was like, look, I'm shooting my shot this summer. I'm single, but I'm shooting my shot like I'm married. I'm telling y'all right now.
Oh,
I used to
that
say
is
that,
Why
yo.
sick.
why would you want to?
Why would he be out here embarrassing her like that?
but like when I would tell people on previous episodes because my single girlfriends they'd be like, I know your DMs is full, and I'm just like DMs of guys that are attached to other people, whether they're in a secret relationship, a full blown relationship, either way, they in my DMs, and I know they got somebody else, and it ain't stopping nothing. It ain't stopping nothing. Like they'll be in there talking to themselves. It ain't stopping nothing. I don't
They
I
in
know.
the
can't. I just,
they in the restricted folder. I don't even get to see him. I love that. I love that thing over there.
Okay.
I don't even. It was
I
like the
just,
Lord was like, nope.
I've
Okay.
had this happen. I've had this happen in real life, like at a homecoming tailgate. However, it's different because their others are not with them.
Mm.
But when I can go and see with my own two eyes, oh my gosh, is this my Dochi moment? Kind of, sort of. Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
I, I to kind of go back to your question. I think when dating apps were initially introduced to us, I think the intent and the not just of the developers but also the users was the accessibility.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to, I'm not confined to the people in my space.
Hmm.
Because the thought is my person is out there somewhere. So
Mhm.
Right.
now I get to be out there in
In
my feet.
here.
Mhm.
And so as time kind of has gone on, I think we've been conditioned through social media to be more emotionally detached, and
Yes.
also it's also impacted our awareness and accountability. So it is like now they're literally treating other people like trash. Like this is a human life with the same emotions and capacity for emotions and pain and heartbreak as you, but you don't have any regard for any of that now because you worried about your options and you worried about getting what you want. So it's about the greediness, it's about the
Yeah.
selfishness.
Mm.
There isn't enough generosity, compassion, and empathy for others now because of all of this. I mean, like, just look at what is actually on social media. Like, it is a mess.
It is
So,
a
like,
mess.
people are getting numb to more than just their emotional
Hmm. Real
capacity to love
life.
others. It's literally everything, including death. Like,
Hmm.
people are numb.
Mm.
I
You
absolutely
said
agree
it.
with you on that. I absolutely, and to even to that point of just like social media and dating apps, I've never in my life been on a dating app. I have a girlfriend right now trying to convince me into it, but I
Don't
just
do
feel
it.
like
Don't do it.
I have had enough of the experience on just
Mm.
social media. I do not want to sign
Mm.
myself up.
Yeah, don't do it.
I also
It's
think I don't like the
That right there.
idea of, and I don't hold this against anyone, but I don't like the idea of making a profile about like there's that's so little. One, here's a couple pictures. Here's my favorite quote, my favorite food. Like, let's see if we vibe. I don't know if I want to grow my capacity for that.
And men are lazy, so usually their profiles are pretty empty.
I
So
don't
it ain't
want to
too
do
much to
that.
compare to. Either they
one
do
thing.
too much or they don't do enough. Like you just can't
And if
find
they're
a happy
doing too
medium.
much, that's the ultimate red flag. If their
Okay.
profile is full, honey, run. swipe left,
Oh,
get a
Okay.
violet,
no. So glad you
and
guys
Okay.
convinced me out of it.
Okay.
no, but and
Do not
if
recommend.
you get on, you know what, get on her, get on, watch her swipe through, and then
Yeah.
you will see the amount of just liars
Foolishness.
on liars on liars. And it starts with the profile pictures because most of them won't even take pictures of themselves today, and most of them, if they do, they with a whole bunch of. So now I get to
Yeah.
choose. I'm going to meet you to choose your
And
friend.
your friend.
Oh man.
That
That's
Since
is
we out here having
hilarious.
insane.
options,
No, thank you. I am all for broadening my capacity for things. I just don't think that experience is one of the things I want to do that for.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Copy.
So the next question we have is taking a break from dating actually helpful or does it just delay the same cycle?
Oh, it's a wonderful help. Go ahead, go ahead, Lala, you got it. You got it.
well, okay, so it depends on what you do during your break as to
Mhm.
whether or not it's
That's
actually going to
good.
be helpful. I tell I am an advocate for being single for self, like taking the time to get to know
Mhm.
you, get acquainted with
Mhm.
you, especially after a toxic situation, because
Mhm.
now you need to reset on your boundaries. You not just within again relationships, but with other people, because that's just evidence of the fact that you haven't even been setting healthy boundaries outside your romantic
Yeah.
relationships.
Mhm.
But it's also going past that, what are your standards? Did your standards shift?
Did your
And
standards change? That's
did
good.
you learn anything? What, because the red flags were there since day one. So
Mhm.
you need a little reflective moment to look back to say, okay, were the red flags there? And then I just chose to replace them with yellow and green ones because
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
didn't want to accept. Like, again, that awareness and accountability has to be there. But a lot of people are just not in a position to say, I was at fault. It takes two to tango.
Absolutely.
You not doing this thing by yourself. Because if you was, you wouldn't have all of this extra stress going on
Right.
caused by other people.
Right.
And I
Absolutely.
find being single, I most of my life I've actually been single, and by
Love that
choice.
for
Like
you.
I didn't even want to do. Like once I got hip to all of the lies, the deceit, and the selfishness and the greediness of like a lot of men when they're young and dating. I was like, I can do without this. And that's what encouraged me to be polyamorous. I was like, I can control the situation. I tell you what it's
Period.
gonna be. You get to sign up. You either you subscribe or you don't. And
Don't.
you're not watching none of these Netflix if you chose to opt
Okay.
out, honey.
I heard that.
I love that. I love that. Um I think one of the healthiest decisions I've made in the past 2 years was to take a break. Like just not. Like I felt like after my last serious breakup, I felt like I definitely needed to do some growing, like, you
Mm.
know, like it was great, and he was wrong, but I can also grow too. He was down bad because he
She
didn't have
threw
to
that
do
in
me
there.
that.
She threw it in there.
He
Yeah, he was wrong. Just
Facts are
for the
facts.
record.
It
he
doesn't
didn't
matter.
have to do
Facts
me
are
that.
facts.
That is a fact. But also, I could also be better. So I really enjoyed the time I took to that's when I found new hobbies.
Mhm.
Like this summer
Mhm.
I have donned my Parent Trap summer camp summer. Okay. I'm doing all of the hobbies. I'm going to all of the things.
Mhm.
Okay. Instead of the dating, because there's just too much more to life. And I don't want to get into the whole decentering men type thing, but find something else to do.
Mhm.
Take a break, develop in other ways, grow
Mhm.
spiritually, grow emotionally, build your capacity for things because, yes, mental health, and yes, take your time for yourself, but also you're going to have to strengthen yourself. Like, just because you don't do well, and this is loosely, if you don't do well doesn't mean you just shut everything down, because that's potentially shutting you down from something that, you know, could be great for you because you've chosen a smaller capacity. So like
Yeah.
figure out ways to grow in other relationships, grow in your friendships. Like I know a lot of people when they, and me included, when I get in a relationship, like you just become like so enamored with this person. And
Mhm.
then you ain't talk to your
Mhm.
homeboys, your homegirl, like, girl, whatever.
Where you been?
You
Where you
know, so
been?
like making sure, like finding the balance. Like I always try to make sure once I take a break that the same level of connection like I had with like keeping up with calling my mom and my siblings, and you know, make sure I check on my niece and nephews, and you know, talking to other communities within my life stays consistent
Mm.
as
Good.
I'm dating, you know, because I think that constantly being wrapped up in somebody else,
Yeah.
person after person, that's the exhausting part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, take a
Mhm.
break.
Losing yourself to that
Take
person.
a high five. Like, let's
Mhm.
just let's chill out for a second, you know?
So
And I
true.
think that has just really helped me develop as a person, as a woman, you know, just figuring out what is it that I really like. Because I feel like you can also get caught in being with someone, constantly trying to figure out what about me do they like the most? Or, you know,
Right.
what is my most glamorous attribute? Or, you know, what puts me on the top shelf? What makes me the most marketable?
Mm.
When, like, does it really take all that?
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Does it really take all that?
Mm-mm.
Like, take a hot second, but it's easy to get your mind in that loop and constantly looping from one person to the next
Yeah.
with no
Mhm.
break. And
Mhm.
all in the sake of racing to society's time. Like, it's time to
Yeah.
have kids. It's time to get married. I'm ready for a house. I'm ready for pictures. I'm ready for Christmas pictures. I'm ready for matching pajamas. Like,
Yeah.
give it a rest. Give
Hang it up. Yeah.
it
All
up,
that natural
Yeah.
please.
life.
Mm.
There's
Yeah.
so much more to life.
Don't you know?
Absolutely.
We're not doing no venture.
Yeah.
Wait, it's May, right? So it's May now. So I could be in matching pajamas if I
You
play by.
could.
But do I really? That's a
Is
lot of
it
work.
worth it?
That's a lot of work because a lot of work going into pajamas. You know what I'm saying? Like
A lot of work.
matter of fact, you know what I might do? I might start my own matching pajamas photo business to where you want to be part of the trend, but it don't come with the relationship attached.
Oh
I,
my God.
we can just come and
Are
take
you about
pictures
to be a
together
rent a boyfriend for
Okay.
matching pajama
With the pictures.
pictures?
in that
Is,
in
is
that
that what I
line,
heard? Did I hear you
in
say
that
that?
lane,
Oh,
in that
we.
lane. And I think that might be. Or matter of fact, I might just
Not a rent a
instead of that.
man.
Or I might just hit a homegirl and look, let's just take some pictures together and just see what happens and see what everybody say.
See what
What?
happens.
Just to troll everybody. I'm gonna find somebody. She be fine too,
So
but
you
let's
want
show
to mess
pictures.
up her feng shui while you do an experiment?
Her
Trying to be
algorithm
Yeah.
is gonna
provocative.
explode.
And then she gonna have to explain that later.
I mean, women get more desirable when they get in relationships. Ain't no man ever like your boyfriend never stopped a man from hollering at you. Like, let's be real. Has he really? How many times y'all been in
No.
relationships and other men still be like, I mean, oh, watch this, watch this. I got a boyfriend. You be like, yeah, but you got a husband though, like or something like that.
Oh,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hate that
you
But
say
line.
you in a
but you can have a
relationship,
you.
but
God forbid
I
a
want to be
girl
your
be faithful.
friend.
or or when you say that, yo, you in a relationship, he like, so, but why you working then? You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
Like,
Wow.
are you trying to buy me?
We just entered the 1950s. What?
Like, are you
Right.
trying to buy me?
so
I might go
now
for
my point is, but
it.
I say this. That is a good point. Like, there's a lot of work that goes. I don't like to say work because people get mad at me when I say that word. But like the cute pictures and the little moments that you see on social media, there's a whole lot of other stuff that goes along with that.
A lot
Not
of
saying it's
intention.
necessarily bad, but it is a lot of getting to know
Effort.
somebody and
Hmm.
effort and energy expended. And do I really feel like that, or do I really feel like just my PlayStation? I can just turn it on real quick. I don't have to talk sweet
Getting
to
this
turn my
PlayStation.
PlayStation on. It's the click of a button. Turn my girlfriend on. We
Did
gotta
you
like, hey baby, flowers. I gotta drop my voice down a little bit. How you doing, girl?
did you
How
compare a
was your
human
day?
being to an inanimate object?
And did. And
What I'm
did.
saying is my companionship right now
Yeah.
is is college
That's
football
No.
25 on PlayStation 5. But
Mm.
if
and
I
what
Hmm.
wanted
and
to,
how is that treating you?
It's fantastic. I was killing Arizona State earlier. I ain't gonna hold you.
Such an
I was
asshole.
I was like 20. I was 27 for 35 for 427
Well,
yards.
honey, if that's all you need, then you set for life. Look,
You
we need
set
to just
for
lock you in the
life.
house and just leave you there, honey.
Okay.
Like,
But no, honestly and truly, no. Human companionship is necessary. Don't get me wrong. But like I'm
is
saying,
it?
it's just. I mean, well, think about this. I mean, romantic companionship, maybe not necessarily, but like community is important. I do believe that. But I'm saying if you want to go to that route where you feel as though you want to be in a relationship and all that kind of stuff, just know there's something to come with it. There's energy and effort that comes with it. And if you're not ready to step up to that level, maybe it's best to sit back, take a break, and watch the game from the sidelines or the stands, maybe. Or leave the stadium completely and watch the game on TV at home. Some of y'all need to go like out, like
Agreed.
yeah. So that's it. That's all I'm saying.
A
That's a
hiatus.
fact. Okay, real
I feel
bad.
that.
Real
I
bad.
feel that. I respect that.
All
Yeah.
right.
So I'm
So,
on the sideline though, on my back. Ready.
oh boy. For how long?
I love it.
Hey, we're gonna see what happens when this girl texts back. I'm gonna see if I'm just playing. I ain't got. I'm just joking. Let me stop.
Okay. All right.
You
So,
know my situation.
what's your biggest dating ick right now? Is it new or something that's built up over time? So, what's getting on your nerves with the people?
Definitely the go with the flow guys.
Mm.
Because if you're gonna come over here, you couldn't have thought that either. I just no, I see. I flow with direction. I don't just flow freely with men like that. So, what did you come over here for? So, like, just tell me what it is you're looking for, and if I'm into that, yeah, I may just be into, a little wink and a flirt every now and then. Like I may be into, like committing to a couple of drink dates. I'm also open for wedding dates, but I am not. I am not open for go with the flow. Don't no, and don't lie about it. If you don't,
Mhm.
if you don't want to put forth any effort into interacting with me, then cut the camera. Let it go. Like we can just do without. And I think, like I said in the beginning, like it really just comes down to like, can we just stop sugarcoating everything?
Mhm.
Let's just be real about it. What is it that you're here for? If I can accommodate, then yes. If I can't, you look good, sir. You're fine
From over
though.
there,
I wish you the
that way.
best in the big old ocean. There's so many more out there, but it's not me.
Yeah, go find Nemo. I
Please go find Nemo, but don't find it over here.
or you know,
Oh, the
The
kitty.
cat,
Oh,
please.
it's so cute. So cute.
he was doing so good, but I would say it kind of piggybacks off of that, but the lack of initiative and like
Oh,
and knowing that like of what you want
mm-hmm,
when you pull up to someone.
mm-hmm,
I, my dad raised me that if somebody really likes you,
mm-hmm,
there is nothing they won't do
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm,
make sure that they spend time with you. But it's
mm-hmm.
also the same message about anything. When somebody really wants something, when they really want to go
They will go get
somewhere,
it.
when they really want to do something, they will find a way. So if you are not finding a way with me, you have spoken so loudly without any words, and I have received that message. So when I accidentally ghost you,
Mhm.
you shouldn't still
Right.
be messaging me because you already know you just really came here because you just wanted to have somebody on your list. You wanted a name on the chart, but you didn't want to do anything with the name. And
No,
I don't got time for that because I'm outside or I'm at work, honey.
that's it. That's all. That's literally it. Like,
Right.
no, yeah, amen to that. That was a word.
Yeah, and that's definitely been a build up because there was a time when I was younger, I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
Mm-hmm,
Honestly,
mm-hmm,
like I
mm-hmm,
just knew it was something missing. Like I
mm-hmm.
like this guy, but like what is missing from this thing? And it was the effort, it was the intention. Like there was none. He had no intentions. You going with the flow. So
Mm.
it was
No.
just like You know
Hell
what
no to the
flows
flow.
rivers,
No,
but they still end up somewhere.
no,
You're literally doing this and going nowhere
Mm,
fast. We're going nowhere.
nowhere really fast. You are
mm,
Yeah.
so, I feel like, yes, that encapsulates my whole experience lately. And I think, too, I'm kind of frustrated with, or I have the ick for going nowhere fast after you've told me you had intentions for other things.
yeah, that's where I'm at with you. Yeah,
Because that's not what you said.
yeah.
And I'm
So
quick to tell
now we're
you a
here.
liar.
Now we're here and I'm laying it out plain and clear because like I've had enough time playing around now. This has been fun. It's been really cute. But what are we doing? And I hate asking the question, what are we doing? So now I've come to a place now where if someone has taken, or not even taken because I've given, but if somebody has partaken in the time that I've put out to build and cultivate a connection,
Mhm.
and we get to where the rubber meets the road and it's not fruitful or it's not aligning with what intentions were originally
Mm.
set.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And then I think too, coming after it's also how they react to my response to that, as if,
Ooh.
oh, but I never meant to like be that to you, or I never meant to.
But you
Then
said,
why?
I heard you.
Mhm.
Why?
Yeah.
So I've definitely taken the time. I've taken a step back from the dating. I'm on the sideline because at this point, um, I kind of was at a place where I was like, maybe my discernment is off. Until I
Mm.
realized like my discernment can be as good as it can be for this space that I'm in. That doesn't mean I can control other people's
Mhm.
actions.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's definitely an ick. My God, like
Mm.
let's just be straight up.
Yeah. No, I totally agree because I feel like I've gotten a lot of this is what you say you want, but when we get there, now it's like you're afraid of it once you actually get what you asked for. So you
You're
weren't really ready for it.
terrified.
Like you know, it sounds nice. I guess it looks good on paper, sounds nice, but once it becomes a reality, it's interesting. Things change up really quickly. And I
Really
don't know what it
fast. And I
is.
mean, the turnover, it went from consistent. I want. And I said, okay, here we are. You can have it if you're willing to. And then it's, forehead kisses and I bid you adieus.
Don't
Okay.
kiss me on my forehead if you don't
And
want
that
it,
was
boy.
me. Don't, no, we're not doing that. What are you going to love me for later? Ah,
Okay.
no. No.
I
Uh,
don't even want you to play with that. If I'm not if you didn't even, if you were not in a place where you were certain enough that you even wanted to ask me confidently to be your girlfriend, you shouldn't be planting nothing up here.
Get off of me.
mm,
Actually, you know what? Keep them lips to yourself because I don't know where they go when they leave me. So you just
mm,
Get off of me.
keep them.
And even to that point, I think
mhm.
this guy that I'm talking about in particular, like he I think at one point he was disappointed that he wasn't going to be able to give me what he wanted to give me. And that's fine.
Mm,
But it's the fact of the matter that you went to a point and then you all of a sudden decided we're going to change it because we're such good friends. We'll just be friends. And then what I didn't give you can just fall off and I'll still have you around.
Mm.
mm,
No. Though we
mm.
are great friends, and I had to mourn both a romantic relationship and a really good friendship.
Friendship. Mm,
That split was, ooh, baby. It was really,
yeah.
really, really tough on me. It was really tough on me. And I took the time to mourn them both separately, but I just don't, I'm not at a place where I'm willing to give all of that because, and I think we don't think about that enough. Like, yes, a relationship, but we connected on a very deep friendship
Friendship
level.
level. Yeah.
And now I gotta let that go too. That's more than I'm willing to just be passing out like Uno cards.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that, So it's just taking that time to be like, okay, let me get more specific and let me stack my boundaries back up and my limits on what I will and won't accept. and then we'll go from there.
Drew, you're kind of quiet. Got some ladies up here
No,
now.
you know what?
Because they
You go
preaching.
first. You go first.
Like y'all preaching. I can see where you coming from, especially with like having to mourn the loss, especially when it's like a good friend too. You get that
Oh, it
connection.
was a good friend. My God. I pray for him often, like I pray over his family. Oh my gosh, yes, like a genuine great person. Really, really good heart, but just not meant to be. And that was really tough for me. Cause
Mm.
like, I mean, I'm not a really big, people person, but when I make friendships, they're deep. So when I lose a
Mhm.
friendship, like I'm really fine about the whole relationship, but damn, I gotta lose you as a friend too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that hurts. Not. I would say that I think right now my ick is I think anti-intellectualism is a big one
Oh,
for me, and conspiracy
Ooh.
theory. I'm really not. Y'all follow me on Instagram. Y'all
yeah.
know I'll be posting like I have a problem with the embracing of, like I said, anti-intellectual, especially because the only thing I really date is black women, and so like
Mhm.
I give some other folk a pass sometimes for like anti-intellectualism. Like you got all the privilege in the world, you can kind of maybe make up whatever weird stuff you want in your head. It's just annoying that we have to actually pretend it's real. But like I
Mhm.
have a problem when like it's black folks, specifically black women, doing this. Like if I'm dating you and talking to you, and all of a sudden you say something like, "Yeah, we didn't really go to the moon." Yo, I swear to goodness, bro. Like, yo, like, yo, we can't get to like,
What?
or yeah, or you know what else is like for real, and this is something that may hit home. It's like I understand that certain parts of like science and stuff can be a little complex and all of that, but I want y'all to understand that a lot of these wellness influencers, matter of fact, the wellness industry is a scam. These
Mhm.
folk are telling you stuff you want to hear and simplifying extremely complex issues just so they can get you to buy some unproven supplements that have not been trialed, or they're telling you things about, yeah, labs, I'll throw some jargon at you that are not based in any kind of science, at least
Mhm.
credible science whatsoever. And like when I see, there's this one woman in particular who, I ain't gonna hold you. Like I had something for her. I did, man. Like, but like she's so caught up in like wellness influencers and stuff, and I'll sit there and listen to like some of the people that she's talking about, and they'll say things, and I'm like, bro, that is not at all how the gallbladder works. Like, or that is not at all like what that enzyme does, or that's
Yeah.
not at all. And that's kind of scary, because if I want to build a future with you, like I want to make sure that you are not so impressionable that anything that just can
Mhm.
get an emotion started will be believable to you. Like I want you to have at least enough to be like, let me question that. Let me look into that real quick, and just take it with a grain of salt. Let me just look into that and see if it holds up to scrutiny. So that's one thing. The other ick that I have, I don't know if it's an ick. Actually, you know what? No, it's not it, because I get it. I get it. Never mind. That's the
Now
intellectualism.
I want
That's
to
a big
know.
thing.
Right. Like what?
Because I was
Say the
like,
words.
You processing out loud. Remember, we can hear you.
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. No, you know what it is. I get. There was something I posted today on Instagram, and it was this idea that somehow, gosh, it's such a silly soap. Sorry. One hand, all right, yes, a man is
Commit.
supposed to be a provider. Okay,
Hmm.
boom, that's one. I understand that, and I support that fully. The second part about that is, remember I made that joke earlier, was like, yo, this you got a man, why you working? Here's
Right.
my thing. Here's my thing. I get the fantasy of like saying, yeah, yo, I'm a woman. I shouldn't have to work. I need to rest in my feminine energy. My divine feminine means I should lay around and lavishly and eat grapes and not do anything. And I want to know who made this definition up of femininity. Because, like, I want, like, where are y'all basing this on? Because, like,
It
even
was
if we,
I was about to say, man.
maybe,
Yeah,
To
you
be,
me
might be
too.
right.
it was y'all.
You
It
might
was
be right.
y'all. Because remember, we just started having bank accounts in our own name. It was y'all.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
Be
Like,
pretty. You're pretty on
The
my
same people.
arm. Be pretty. That's all you
Uh-huh.
had to do. Be
Right.
pretty and
Uh-huh.
erase the
Seen and
Go by
picture.
not
your
Right?
heard.
life.
oh, okay. I take that. I take that. Cause like I don't like the definition. But here's the thing: if a man is able to do that, that's fantastic. And I'll be honest with you, like ideally, like in our head, I think like any man would be lying if he didn't say at least like 2% of him wants to be at a level socioeconomically where my wife ain't got to work. You know what I'm saying? I stay home and she can do her own thing. That's cool. But have you seen these tariffs? Like, this is not these tariffs are not divine energy. Divine femininity means sit around, do nothing. Like, we might have to work and get a job. The other thing is this: I'm dating black women. This is the most educated demographic in the United States of America. I'm having a hard time believing that women this educated aren't going to use those degrees to do something, in some sort
Yeah.
of field. Like, it's so like,
Even if you put me at the house, honey, I'm about to be at work on something.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
can't. As beautiful it is as it is in here, no, thank you. I want to go do
Right.
something.
So like,
I'll lose my mind in the house. COVID let me know that.
right, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Mm.
so this idea, this push to say, oh, a man should have to provide you, and you should become, and just he should pay for everything. I have no problem paying for everything. It's another thing. I have no problem paying for everything. That's why I took a new job, but so more money to pay for everything. But my point is like, but the point is like the idea that I did do nothing, and then like when you ask, and I will never ask a woman what she brings to the table. That's wild. That's the wild question to ask. That's what dating is for. You can find out what her qualities are when you get to know her. I'm never going to ask
Right.
that question. What do you bring to the table? I can see. Let's see if our core values match up. But I'm not gonna. Yeah. Anyway. But at the same time, what I don't want is a woman who thinks that simply because she's there is enough. It's because like the ick is like, I am the table. I hate that because it's like, all right, great, that sounds wonderful, cool.
I mean, I
What are
ain't
your
got
what are
time.
your values? What are your dreams? What is your opinion on certain things? And when you find out they don't value the same values that you value, like intellectualism or family or
Mhm.
compassion or feeling for others, or even being aware of current events, things like that, then it's like, what kind of table? Raggedy old, what kind of table this is? This ain't even a table. This is lawn furniture. This the table you sit
Mm.
on in the backyard and
You
y'all eat
fold it
at.
up and
What
put it
in
in
the
the
broken
garage.
wicker?
Okay, this table say Fisher Price on it. I don't know. So like,
Oh, man.
so that's the thing. That's my little ick right there. So yes, I don't get me wrong. Fully support providing comfort, counsel, providing, protecting, all that. But I like, all right, I need you to be like a human being also,
Mhm.
and like also have some dreams and ambitions and some sort of feedback. I can't be a one-way street. That's my ick. But I'm done talking.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of things came to mind when you were speaking. I think what I've come across is a lot of guys who can't provide are then angry at you because you live
You
a
ca-
lifestyle that they can't provide for you. And that's the thing that I've come across too. It's just like they're intimidated because I've created a lifestyle for myself that they feel like they can't maintain for me at my level where I am. I'm not asking you to because clearly I go to work just like you. So I can support myself. But I think that's a lot of what the anger is with guys these days because like you said, life is expensive, the tariffs is crazy, you know, it is, but
But let's
yeah.
be clear. They were whining before the tariffs, for
This
sure.
is
Let's
true.
be
Now they got some
clear.
extra, they got some extra ammunition.
Long before.
It's
It was
crazy.
whining when
No,
Obama was in
I
office,
really
okay?
resonate with
Good
that.
time. Oh, it's good
I
time.
I feel like lately I've had men kind of upset with me because I haven't asked you to provide. Because
Yeah.
as much as I would like to be taken care of, I do take care of myself. I also take pride in being able to take care of
Hmm.
myself.
Hmm.
So when I ask you for things other than your natural default, be a provider, then I always end up short. Like, where's the compassion? Where is like, do you have like an understanding of the people and other cultures around you? Like, do you have the capacity and the ability to be able to shape shift through other rooms with different types of people? Like, do you have a wide range of interests? Like, it always comes down to, oh, but I can buy your life. I didn't ask you to do that.
Yeah.
Actually, like,
Yeah.
what else comes with it? So then when we talk about the table, oh, I can you can move in with me, you can quit your job if you hate it, you can do this and do that, but okay, then what? Then I'm looking at you all day. But for what? What are we like, then what? So it ends up falling, it just ends up falling flat. So yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's definitely an ick. And like, I'm so tired to talk about that damn table. Golly.
Clubhouse ruined society. I wish I say so.
Oh my
It,
God.
it didn't ruin society, but it definitely introduced new terminology to us, like table and divine feminine. I never knew divine feminine was a term until I got on Clubhouse. So yeah,
Mm.
these are things. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Five
will say,
percent.
like, on the flip side of that, because I do have, so feel like I have a very wide range of friends. So I do have some girlfriends, not a couple, who have their only aspiration in life is to be a mom and to be someone's wife. That's it. That's all. And I've had one go so far as to kind of like fake a career because they were saying the same thing. Like, I want you to bring something to the table. Like, I want you to have some ambition. So she had to fake some ambition because she ain't have none. Because that's what she felt like she had to do to get the ring. So now she taking
Wow.
crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But
Wow. I have
yeah,
heard it
but there are
all.
some women who that's all they want. And the guys that I see that she entertains or that she ends up with
Mhm.
are guys who want their women to be completely dependent on them. To me, I feel like they all had some level of control issues, which plays into
Mm-hmm,
that.
mm-hmm. Mm.
Like, surprise, surprise.
Talk about
But
it.
but yeah, like, listen, find somebody who fits your dynamic,
Find
basically.
somebody else to do it, honey, because it's not me.
No,
Okay,
thank
say that.
you.
Ooh,
No,
all
thank
right.
you.
Mm-mm.
But
Wow.
I would say one of my other icks is lack of leadership.
Mm,
Let's talk about
Oh,
it. Let's
mm,
actually get into it. I'm ready.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
what? Where do you want to eat? Where do you want to go eat? Where do you want to go on? Do you
Ooh.
need to be told everything, honey? You telling me that you and the Google and the Chat GPT and all the solutions out there to give you direction, and you can't assert yourself? Oh, oh.
Mm-hmm,
There is just
mm-hmm,
I love a man that can lead, not just on a simple date decision, but like
And
life.
life, yes.
Like, because real life stuff is happening every day. So like, how are we navigating the day to day?
mm-hmm.
Because I think about a lot on a day-to-day basis. What makes you think I want to make any other decisions? And it's not even just about having to make the decisions, it's more so about I don't want the responsibility of having to figure something else out put on my plate from another adult.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like, let's have agency about ourselves, let's have some autonomy. Like, let's come together with what you think should be done, and then maybe I can give you some perspective and give you some extra thought that maybe you didn't think about. But
Mm.
like, I want you to come with some substance first, and let's meet right here and let's talk about and discuss, and then whatever we decide collectively, yes, let's
That's
go
it.
that way.
You hit it on the head right there. So that's the thing I'm
Mhm.
trying to say. Like, yeah, as a man, I think that yes, birth the idea as a man, or at least create the idea as a man, then present the plan. Let her then look at it, analyze it, blow it up, right?
Yes.
Look at it from different angles, and then, okay, did you think about this, and this? No, I didn't, because I'm a
Yes.
man. I don't think like you. That's why I presented it to you, so I get some different perspective. Appreciate you. This is what I'm leveraging you for. Your intuition. Actually, the word, not even intuition. The word is actually bana. The closest thing we have to that is intuition. But essentially, women are built with this essentially intuition. But again, the word is bana, where you're able to look at things from different angles and different details, and magnify something to see it from a different perspective. So yeah, we can leverage that if we do it the right way. My bad, I had to get biblical on you for a second, but go ahead. I got
Drew, that was actually really good. I have a specialty, okay, in Bana.
there you go.
I think that's actually one of my favorite things about myself. If you bring it to me and tell me what it is, I can then dissect it and be like, okay, did you think about this? What about this? Okay, what about this? And
Mm-hmm.
then we come up with a collective understanding, and then we look at the risk, we look at the what could go wrong, and then we just go for we make a decision and go in a direction. instead of just having it up in the air. Like, no, I'm not with no up in the air, none of that. Like I said, I like to flow in a direction,
Yeah.
not just free flowing all over. Child, please.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I just feel like, especially now in my career, getting to a place where I work amongst leaders within my organization and seeing leaders lead leaders, I need,
Yes.
honey, like I need to know that if somebody puts something in front of you, that you can make an executive decision, and that you don't need to go outside and get outside resources to help make you make the decision for you all the time. Like, at some point, you got to be the end all be all,
Yes.
especially if the expectation is that you're going to be the head of my house. How can you be the head and you don't know how to lead? That means you to tell. I don't do followers. I don't do
Absolutely not.
what you doing
Absolutely
back
not.
there?
What you doing?
Okay. Okay.
Like,
Absolutely no.
it just
A word.
and it even so, like, as Drew, as you were talking, the concept of the alpha male was kept coming up in my head, and I was like, I think they misinterpret when women say they want an alpha male, because oftentimes when women say that, what they're saying is that they want a leader.
Because
Yeah.
I personally do not want an alpha
Absolutely.
male. No, thank
No.
you.
I don't.
I don't
Yeah,
want that.
Yeah.
when an alpha male is animalistic,
Mm.
No,
an alpha male is barbaric.
I
Yes.
don't want
I don't
that.
want none of that. I
That
need
doesn't sound tender or
sophistication.
gentle at all. No.
What you
No.
you think this skin?
No.
Okay.
You need to be like an egg. What was that home economics back in the day where they would give her
Yeah.
the egg? You had to treat it like a
What
baby.
was
Well, that's me. That's me right there.
that? That's
When I
funny.
drop that egg, not gonna come hard boiled, honey. Like you.
Okay. That's funny.
No, for real. I definitely resonate with that. I definitely resonate with that. All I ask is that if you're asking for me to be a part of your world, come with something. Something. I am a leader and I want to collaborate with a leader, but I don't want to come and bring in the solutions and I don't want to do all that. I just
Yeah.
don't.
It's
Because that
another
means your
job.
world is in shambles. Your shit, your world don't have a leader. Your world is in total chaos. Like,
Now that become your next job. Like,
it's like the United
Please,
States. They ain't got no
no.
leader.
too much.
And
Too much.
ultimately that leads to the burnout because
Miles Monroe, the late Reverend Dr. Miles Monroe. Look, whatever you give a woman, all right, she'll never give you back what you give her. All right. She will take it, incubate it, multiply it, then give it back. She never gives you what you give her. For instance, you give a woman, and we can give even biologically, right? You give a woman a sperm. She'll take it, incubate it, multiply it, and give you back a baby. You give a woman a house. She'll take it, incubate it, multiply it, give you a home. You give
Period.
a woman, if you give a woman frustration, she'll take it, incubate it, multiply it, and
Frustration.
And give you
hell. And give you hell. So, like, as a man, is if you don't like what you are getting from your woman, change what you are giving. But it does start
amen.
with that giving. And so, but yeah, that's not me. That's Dr. Miles Monroe. Shout out to him and his memory. But yeah.
Oh, Drew, it's your time.
Oh, we on it. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Ladies.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Ladies, be prepared for red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal. This is the part of the program where we actually present scenarios, and y'all let me know what I presented, whether it's a red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal. Let's begin. Are you ready?
Oh,
Let me get my sexy voice. Are you ready? Yeah. So check this out. Let me stop. All right. All right. So the first one is he tells you up front he's not looking for anything serious, but still texts you daily and acts like a boyfriend. Red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal?
Go
It's
ahead.
a red flag and a deal breaker.
Okay.
Great. Glad we're on the same
Get
page.
up
Glad
out
we're
of
on the same
here.
page. Glad we're on the same page.
Next.
What? No, y'all don't believe in potential and maybe what might happen.
No, I'm done with
Yeah.
potential.
I
Throw it
know I believe
away.
in
Love that for
potential.
you. Kiss, kiss. On to the next one. Not over here.
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
in potential, not in relationships. Like it's gonna be what it is. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. All right, next scenario then. Oh, he's great in person, but super dry over text. Takes forever to reply and barely engages. LaLa, you can't talk about this because we already know how you are with texting back. But anyway, red
Like I'm
flag.
matching energy, baby. Like
Red
pound for
flag.
pound.
Red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal.
Deal breaker. You
I'm
got to talk
gonna
to me.
I'm gonna say red flag because I've dated someone that wasn't the best texter, but would hop on the phone really fast.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
So I like that actually because I didn't spend all my time like this.
Yeah, that's
So I
fair.
mm.
appreciate that.
That's true. Okay. All right. Now,
Okay.
if you were like 22, you'd be like, just text me. But nah, like.
Yeah, no, we grown. You gonna have to call me on the phone, baby.
All right. All right. Check it out. So next scenario, oh my gosh, he asked for a vibe check call before taking you out. Says he doesn't want to waste money if there's no spark. Red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal.
Deal breaker. Cause what you came over here for?
Again, red flag, deal breaker. Because like, what you need a vibe check for? Why you even pulling up at my doorstep in the first place?
You didn't like
Like,
the
if you
vibes
already
before we
have
got here?
regret.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, don't y'all
What?
usually have conversations with people before you get their number? Like, I usually do. I don't just be. I like you get the vibe checked in. Like, what I need another call for? Like, I talked to you when I got your number.
Well, let me say this because I have not done a vibe check before, and I feel like I wasted my time and my money because I got ready. I got myself in the Uber. I got there. I feel like I wasted my time. A good outfit, a bomb makeup, like I beat my face real good that one time, and then for nothing, for
Okay,
nothing.
so
So
wait.
I should have
Okay,
done a
so
Yeah,
wait.
not after
FaceTime with
that.
this dude. I should have did a FaceTime. I should have got a vibe for him before we went there. So a lot of times I'm like, I'll text you. Maybe we'll have a phone call. But now a FaceTime where I can see you, your energy,
Right.
your
Are you
body
a real
language
person?
is necessary before I step
Okay,
out
so
my
I
yeah.
have
Mm.
a question. How did you all connect initially?
Mm,
Well, I've had
good question.
multiple situations. So I'll say like the first, like usually it'll be Hinge.
Okay,
Most
okay.
recently. So Hinge is probably the biggest thing. Where I wouldn't like know you or have had a chance to like, check your energy initially.
Right.
But you don't know nobody from a can of paint on that thing. So they can say they can be who they want to be.
Oh, I hate
And
that.
yeah.
Oh.
And you
So
don't
yeah,
even want to
that's
give
why
them
I
your
say don't get on the
number.
app, girl. Don't do it,
Mm-mm.
girl. Don't do it, girl.
Oh,
Just
because
don't
what
waste
I
your
won't
time.
do is waste a
Yeah,
good
don't
beat.
waste
I
your
hate that
time.
for you.
I hate it for me
Uh,
too. Oh,
I
Hate
strongly
that.
encourage that you go outside and take all that fineness
oh
right
girl.
onto the dance floor, honey.
You
And I'm
coming
gonna
to
take
New
my
York
fine
City.
ass
I'm
to the most
outside. I'm
expensive bar,
outside.
please.
Uh-huh. Pull up to the
Somebody gonna
Ritz
see
and the
this.
Regis, honey.
Thanks, y'all.
Love it. All right, I get you. I get you. Makes sense. You make a good argument. Okay, next scenario. He says he doesn't believe in labels, but wants exclusivity and
Nope.
gets jealous when you go out. Red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal.
Hell no. And it's a
Okay.
big old red flag and a deal breaker. You have got me all the way messed up. What?
Real bad. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm still stuck at I'm doubling up because usually most of
No.
my red flags are deal breakers at this point. Like,
So then why
ex-
are you see no,
you
because
don't
you're
even
not
know what you
gonna
want. You don't even know what you
no.
want.
Yeah.
Again,
I
Mm-mm.
love it.
mm-mm.
Oh, she's
It's
stacking them
giving
up like Uno
Like
cards.
Uno cards.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Stacksies.
So funny.
Draw
All right,
two.
It's
all
bricks.
right.
All like bricks.
All right. So here we go. And we have another one. Your last scenario. He makes he makes significantly less money than you and jokes about it often, calling you his sugar mama. Red flag,
Absolutely.
deal breaker, or no big deal. What's up, big money? Hey, big
No.
money.
Ooh, that's the one. Big money.
Mama.
Ooh, I hate that.
Absolutely not.
Be a
Absolutely not.
mama.
Big money is
What
crazy.
you mean? Big money? What you
Oh,
talking
I
about, girl?
run. I
Mm.
run as soon as they say big money. Okay, big time. Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
We can't say that. Yeah,
this
all
is
right.
fun.
It's a direct
Woo.
indication of your insecurities. You're
No,
Mhm.
about your current state of your finances and your circumstances. And that, honey, has absolutely nothing to do with
we
Big
do.
Mama. Okay.
Mm-mm.
It has
Mhm.
nothing to do. That's that's fine, little baby. That's fine, little baby. Come on, we can take care of you too. But I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
But I'm not.
I'm
Because
not doing that. That's
if
great.
you're not in a secure place financially, but you have a plan and you're working towards it and you're confident in what's going to happen next, I can get behind that actually.
Correct.
Because
Mhm.
again, that's that leader, that's that
Yeah.
initiative, that's that effort. I,
Correct.
I can work with you, but you over here want to call
Projecting your insecurities on me? I don't think so.
right.
Absolutely
I
not.
can
Actually, ew.
I read between the lines, little baby.
No.
We do. We read between them, and that's what you got. Get on.
So wait,
Mhm.
I always thought big money was gonna be a compliment. Like, look at you doing your big money. Like, I never thought that. I'm glad y'all saying this because more and more women are saying exactly what y'all say, and I would never call a woman big money unless I'm trying to be funny and just joke. But like to
Boss,
say that,
don't even call her that either.
you can't say boss. Oh man, boss lady. You know, I can't say
Hey,
that.
it's triggering me.
Oh, snap. But
No.
I get you. So I appreciate y'all adding some clarity to that. But I want to thank y'all. This concludes this episode or this segment of Red Flag, Deal Breaker, or No Big Deal. Thank you so very much. Back to
Oh, I
talking
love that.
Ray.
That's hilarious.
Remember that
Really?
repair man.
Literally what I heard in my
Oh,
head.
man. All
Right.
right, and we've come to the point in the show where we're turning the table. So since we've been asking y'all questions all show long, you guys get to pose a question to the group and we'll discuss it. It doesn't have to be related to what we've talked about. It could be anything. And also if you're watching live on YouTube, you can also fall into the chat and ask questions and we will answer them as well. So what
Yes.
say y'all? What's on your mind?
Okay, let me see if I have some questions. One
Oh
Oh
I
my
was
Lord,
about to
she got.
say
God.
second.
every time y'all see me
Y'all
looking
saw.
down a little too long, I was like, "Ooh, that's one too. That's one."
Hey,
Let me
So
see
prepare.
here.
I
Let me
have one already
Okay.
Okay.
because it was when you were saying like how we get done up and then you go out and then it's not the thing. Is going out alone or dating yourself and like just not with the friends, you literally nobody out, just you done did yourself and you going to enjoy like a meal and like maybe even go out for drinks. Is that like something that you all do? Because that if I go out and I don't have a good time, honey, I'm I'm not going home looking like this.
Mhm. Facts. Absolutely. I mean, I do. I mean, I think that's my favorite thing to do. I mean, I think my sister and some of my friends think I'm a little weird because I like spending so much time by myself. But I'm a good time.
Oh,
Shoot.
I
So I'm
love
gonna have
being
a
by
good time wherever
myself.
I go with myself. So I enjoy it. And then after like a bad situation like that, if one of my girlfriends are out, bet let's pull up and let's get some drinks. Cause if I beat my face just right, cause my makeup is I'm hit or miss with it. So if I hit everybody got to see this. Everybody got to see it. I can't
Absolutely.
waste it. I can't waste it. So,
Yeah. I love a night out by myself.
okay.
Me too.
Never a dull moment. And I never pay for anything.
Period.
That's usually how it goes,
Love that.
though. That's the key. That is
I
truly
The
the
still
key.
key.
remember being at last lap. LaLa was trying to get me to holiday, girl. My bad. Let me bring this up. Well, we was at like, she was like, "You can go ahead and talk to her." I said, "Girl, if you don't stop." My bad. No, she is a good time. She's a great time. That's all fun.
No, I absolutely agree. I will in a heartbeat. Well, actually, okay. I did have a potential date gone wrong, but I knew it was going to go left well before the date began, or the well before I even changed clothes for the day. I knew it was going to go south. Yeah. So
Mm.
instead, okay, let me give you a story.
Yeah, we
Ooh,
need
ooh,
the
story
tea,
time.
girl. Need the
Right.
tea.
Okay, let me give you a story. Okay, so I had run into somebody that had interest in me when I was like way younger. So background, I used to do nightclub
Mm.
photography in college. And I mind you, the nightclub scene is a very male dominated industry.
Hmm.
So here I am, a young 19-year-old girl hanging from the rafters with a camera. So naturally, well, one of the managers, owners, whatever, he took interest in me, and it was, pay for your books, all this stuff, you know. So years go by. Now I'm grown. I'm out of college. I've graduated. I've got a master's. All the things like I've well developed. So now all of a sudden it's like, she's grown. Let's do this thing. So he says he ends up like, kind of like inviting me out one night, and then I was like, no, that's not going to work for me. So he rescheduled. The thing is, he's not giving me any time to
Mm.
like,
Mm-mm.
if this time frame is going to work. So that's how I knew red flag number one. So
Lack of
randomly on a Friday
consideration.
after work, he invites me over text. He was like, hey, are you available? And I was like, actually, I am available. I'm finishing up some work at the bar, blah, blah, blah. So um, I was like, well, if I'm going to go out, I want to go to this specific place. So I suggest the specific place. And he says, are we going for food or for hookah, or for drinks and food or hookah? And I was like,
D, all the above.
both. Why would,
Why are we
like,
limiting ourselves?
okay. So
Say or.
I,
What's or mean? And
huh?
The world is my
So
oyster, homeboy.
right. So he says, well, I don't really like the food at this place. And I said, okay, well, don't eat. Like, okay. So then he goes into this
This
long
ain't about
spiel
you.
about whatever. Mind you, anyway. So he ends up moving the time back because both of us are still working. He moves the date later, like an hour or so later. So he calls me as he's on his way to the barber shop and says, oh yeah, I paid extra money to skip the line for you so I could look good. I'm getting my hair cut. It's 30 minutes until our date.
Oh.
I don't
There
know
ain't
how
never
long
been a barbershop
haircuts take,
appointment.
Drew.
an hour. What is
At
he talking
least
about?
or two, because he might be running behind on the first two people before
Hmm.
Okay.
you already.
Wow.
So we go through this conversation, and he comes around to asking me these questions. So he says, how is it that you court a man?
What? Who do that?
Threads thought I was just like writing this for fun.
Court a man?
Like, and so I said, well, I don't court men. So then he says, okay, maybe he gets a little frustrated, and he's like, okay, maybe I'm not asking it right. Well, how is it
You're
that you
not.
appreciate a man? I said, well, when a man has done something to be appreciated, then I will appreciate him. Frustrated again, he goes back and he says, well, I'm a king and you're a queen, and I expected to be treated as such, and etc. So I straight out the gate, Drew, how does one, a
This is a wonderful setup.
fine young woman such as myself, court a man? And granted, here, I'll give you the defenses of the men of Threads, okay? The men
Oh
of
boy.
Threads suggested that I wasn't fully understanding the question he posed to me. And I should have read between the lines to better understand what he was asking me, but I'm still not understanding. How does one, a fine young thing like myself, court a man?
That's a good question. I don't think women court men. I think courting is a man to a woman thing, or for those people who are in same sex relationships, that's a different dynamic. But like I would say, yeah, you ain't doing that. What I want to man see. I'm hoping what he meant was
What did he mean,
how do
please?
you respond in a court, or how do you respond in a courting situation when a man is courting you? I would maybe that's what he meant to say. I
Okay.
work in his
Let's
brain
answer
somewhere.
his
I feel like
hypothetical
you're giving him too
question.
much
So
credit,
when
Drew, but we gonna
I
let you
am, but
ride.
we gotta make it work. So look,
Okay.
it's like this. It's like, yo, okay, when a man is courting you, how do you typically respond in that kind of environment, or how do you maybe reciprocate interest or show interest in
Hmm.
that situation? Maybe that's what he
Uh-huh.
meant.
Gratitude.
Or,
Thank
Okay.
or
you.
yeah,
Yes,
Thank
gratitude,
you.
So thank
thank
you.
yous, showing collective interest, Yes, but I absolutely, under any circumstances, will not be courting a man.
Yeah,
yeah. I'll
his
say
words
this
look
too.
crazy. What?
Well, people aren't really good communicators. I will say this though. I
Weird.
think one of the biggest ways that you could, whatever he was talking about, court a man. Um,
Yeah.
I think is
The way he would
showing
have got
up.
ghosted
Yeah, you
in
see,
real time.
she
In real
disappeared
time.
in real time, instant transmission, Goku. Like, just, she,
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna let him think about that, and then I'm gonna let him figure out how he gonna reword that and send it to me, and I'll wait for that response.
Oh,
La,
what?
What?
Lala will do that in real time. She'll be scratching her head. He'll be
I would
like,
have
"What's
been
all this up
like,
for?" He'll be like, "Disappear." Goku. Nah, but I say this though, the way to do it though, I think honestly, if you show up like and make yourself available when like a man is courting,
Yeah.
like when I'm courting a woman and asking you out, like for me that means a lot. There was a woman I was
Mhm.
dating. She was she lived in Harlem. Um,
long
didn't want
distance is what it sound like.
it would,
Mhm.
but look, the point is, my
Okay.
point is, every time I asked her out, for the most part, like she was making herself available, and this was a woman who was like busy, like she was doing celebrity makeup, and she had a son, and she was making sure she was doing all these things, giving me her schedule, but like I never, she was never pushing me off. She was always down and always ready, like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I can do this, or maybe this time will work. Can we do this time? And I was like, and then when she showed up, she showed up,
Period.
Mm.
face, beat,
Yes.
hair, outfit, cute, looking always good. And I was like, bro, if she do like doing all this, that kind of effort for me, I'm gonna make sure that she feels safe and taken care of. She ain't reaching for her wallet for nothing but
Okay.
ID. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a wonderful environment, experience, and fun. I'm gonna keep providing these experiences and stuff. But like, for simple fact, you were just there. So
Mm-hmm.
like, and then when she shows up there, she shows up with substance. It was funny. It was good energy. It was jokes, and she had a
Mhm.
great sense of humor and all these things. And then later on, she told me she wasn't ready for anything serious because she was still getting over her ex. But the point is, in that situation, like she was showing up, and that's how she was courting, like whatever that is.
Cool.
But that's
Whatever
something.
that means.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Well, if
Fresh.
that's the case, then that's absolutely the energy I reciprocate. I'm going to show up. I'm going to work with you, like make sure that our time together is, of substance. What a silly question. That
Right.
just irritated me.
But also it makes me
Crazy.
challenged to think that when he has courted women that either no one has said, I really appreciate,
Uh-huh.
spending time with you. I enjoy this time with you because, big thing for men outside of physical touch is often that I find is words of
Oh
affirmation.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely.
so to affirm that what you're doing is
Mhm.
being received well, I think is something that matters to them a little bit more sometimes than women, where we like to see the act of service happen. They
Yeah.
also need to hear it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've
Yeah,
become
that's a good point.
I've become more willing to be more doting with my compliments because there was a time, honey. You know what you're doing. I don't need to tell you. You know
Damn.
how no, but you know how there are scenarios where people say like, my parents never told me they love me, and if when you hear those parents
Mm-hmm.
hear that, they say, you knew I loved you. I showed you I loved you, type of thing. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I used to see it, but coming to terms of learning again, the pandemic work, emotional maturity,
Mhm.
communication, learning that okay, I need to meet them the same way I want to be met. But
Mhm.
it's oftentimes again that selfishness that finds
Mm-hmm.
itself in, and you just want for you without saying, thank you, I appreciate this. Maybe being even vulnerable enough to say, no one has ever done this before for me, or
Mm-hmm.
so I
Yeah.
really appreciate that you're doing this, because sometimes men do pull up and actually, oh,
Mhm.
wow. Like, and honey, a little heart shocked me. So if you're doing it now, I know I need to let you know that I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing you, and I'm seeing you in a little bit different way than
Mm-hmm.
maybe when we first said hello, type of thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's
Mm-hmm.
maybe more
Mm-hmm.
it.
I like that. I now that I've thought about it, I mean, he still don't get a pass because that was insane.
Mm,
No, he
But
was insane. I don't know what that means.
but
yeah,
I'm trying to
that's
figure
but
out still
I
now who raised him.
because but you know what? Let's go back. Let's add some perspective because I have a feeling the type of women he's used to dating are the type to take, 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 take. It's
yeah.
Hmm.
expected of you.
That's what I was gonna
Um,
say. That's what it's
yeah,
giving.
I feel
For
like
me to even
they,
ask that question, yeah, speaks to
yeah,
good character.
they have yet to run into somebody that actually gets excited over their effort, or
Mm.
appreciates their effort
Yeah,
in a way that isn't just like I show my appreciation by really being in tune with, like, being present when we're together, like making sure that I'm really listening, really really engaging, asking questions, trying to get a better understanding, and even more so, like, um if something has never been done for me before, I'm going to tell you how that has never been done for me before up until this point. And I really appreciate, this makes me feel this way, or like, now that I know this, I'll have to incorporate that in other areas of my life, etc. How showing him how he is a benefit or has been a benefit, I think is something that I really try to do, only because I think a lot of the men I've dated have come from a long line of dating women that don't appreciate them.
yeah, but it's like just you when you said the question, my immediate thought went to, okay, that's who he's dating. He's dating ungrateful people, but that's who he's choosing. That's who he's picking, right? So that's
Right.
his
Yeah,
type. So
they got big
that's
booties.
his decision, though. You know what I mean? He's
That's what it
choosing to
is.
entertain a certain kind of woman. So when
Yeah.
guys like complain about certain things, I'm just like, who you picking? And then they tell me who they're picking. I'm just like, well, what did you expect? Like, did we not? We saw the signs. You just said she was pretty, she was bad. You wanted to hit it. Let's just
And
be
that's and
clear.
that's really and that's really it. I think too, ooh, maybe that was a red flag. The way he was talking about women in general, oh my God, how disgusting. It always came down to how their personal hygiene was. So it would be like it's almost as if, she wasn't even fine though. It's almost as if, oh, she wasn't even well kept. Huh?
Oh,
What?
Wow. Well,
yeah.
it's interesting.
Lala.
So,
We sitting like, all right.
Huh? Yeah. So
Well,
I mean, lessons learned, but I do appreciate the perspective on his hypothetical.
okay.
terrible
I
question.
did the
But
best.
to that, it's evident that he hasn't come to terms with kind of what Tasha said earlier, that you chose this. And even if you chose this without
Hmm.
knowing, when you found out, you didn't set the boundary. So you haven't even collected that you haven't stuck to your standards, and you haven't set firm in your boundaries, and that you're really moving in sand. And so everything, it just keeps kind of ebbing and flowing. You need a little bit of firmer foundation when it comes to setting
Yeah.
your
Correct.
boundaries and honoring your standards. So it was definitely on him. And that, for me, yes, definitely makes it a red flag, because again, that lack of awareness, that lack
Hmm.
of reflection, and the fact that you continue to keep making the same mistake over and
No
over again.
agency.
Honey, like, when if you're not gonna learn the lessons from yourself, you could at least live vicariously through someone else and not keep doing this to yourself.
That
Okay.
part. And also, like, coming with the projection of the frustration from the past and then posing the
Hmm.
question to me.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Like, come on, honey, it's time to look in the mirror. Because again, he's missing the fact that you're party to your displeasure. Like, it's
Right. Mm.
you.
Yeah. And I think
Stop
that's
letting
what
all the
that
people in
also
your
comes
booth.
back to the dating burnout full circle. Like, then getting to a point to where you're now blaming the dating pool. So, like,
For your choices. Yep.
It
yeah,
got
your
pee in it,
choices, like, you got to pick better.
but it's
Right.
pee in it. I was like, everybody keeps saying
But
it's pee in the dating pool, but like you can go on the other end
They're
of the
the ones
pool with a
peeing
pee in
go
it.
to
in it.
the other end.
They're
Go to the deep
no, but
end.
they're the ones peeing in it. That's the
Yeah,
whole
Ooh,
point.
Okay.
let's talk.
Like,
yeah.
you
That's the one.
and I would say all the time, like, I we can either be a good time and have fun, or I'm gonna be a hard lesson to learn, because
Mm,
sometimes you just gotta go. You gotta say no, and you gotta say, hey, this ain't working. And if they're not
mhm.
receiving the message, hard stop, baby. Hard.
Hard stop. Heavy ghost. Heavy
Absolutely.
ghost.
We ain't
Oh,
go, we ain't ghosting, because you're gonna see me again on the streets. But guess what? I'm a, I will lock eyes with you and keep moving.
LaLa, you dangerous.
I will
Dangerous.
see you seeing me, seeing you, and keep it pushing. Because guess what? We ain't got nothing to say.
No confusion, only clarity.
We already said what had to be said. And if you didn't
Mhm.
hear it, honey, you should have been recording and taking
You
notes,
should
okay?
have been recorded, please.
yo, wow. I love it.
Can't help
I
you.
love it. Yo, so I need to go ahead and let y'all know this has been another wonderful, awesome episode of
Yes,
Secrets of
it's
the
great.
Opposite Sex, and we will be back next week to close out season 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Secrets of the Opposite Sex. I am your co-host, Drew Comments. We have been kicking it, chilling with Darby and LaLa, and I am giving it back to the incomparable Tasha Ray. Take it away. Yeah.
And that does it for this episode. We'll be back next week to close out season 6, like Drew said, with our season finale. In the meantime, don't forget to download Secrets of the Opposite Sex app, subscribe to our podcast, and follow us here on YouTube. See you next week. Bye.